Alright everyone, today I wanted to help answer the question, is it going to be worth summoning on the GLOXINIA banner when it comes out? Because we know that this banner is coming soon, we've actually been given several hints about this, and we also know that there's other units coming out soon as well, which is actually going to change the answer to this question. So before I really answer it fully, it's important for me to kind of lay out the timeline and the hints that we've been given, because that's going to really make the answer a bit different here. So number one, it's really important to take a look at a huge hint that Netmarble has been giving us, and that is the weekly PvP rules. They started doing this, I believe, last month, and what they like to do is, with the weekly buffs, they like to kind of make it revolve around any new units that come out. So you can kind of piece together the puzzle here and see that when a new unit comes out, what is really their main specialty, what are they focused on, and what is that week's weekly buff. And just Lost Vein Meliodas is a perfect example here, because we just got Lost Vein Meliodas, and you can see the weekly buffs for week 1, increases the crit chance by 20% per hero skill use, limit 5 times. Now, obviously, Lost Vein Meliodas is really important because of his passive, which is going to rank up his skills when he does get crit, so you can line that up with the week 1 buff, and of course, that was the release of Lost Vein Meliodas. Now, they've been doing this in the past quite a bit as well. If you look at week 2 here, fills the ultimate move gauge by 1 orb every time a debuff is applied during the enemy turn. And once we get into the skills of GLOXINIA, you guys will see here that the week 2 buff that we're going to be getting really lines up with his skill kit very, very well. So that is the first hint right there. Now, another really big hint is actually information that we know about some very, very desirable units, one in particular that we also know are going to be coming to the game very, very soon. And that is the 2 units that we do not yet have featured in the Disaster Awaken Lily event, Mono and Easton. We already have Valenti, but we do not have Mono and we do not have Easton. And this event is currently running, and it will still be running for another 10 days and 7 hours. So with this out there, it's another pretty big hint that these units are going to be coming to the game very, very soon. Now, why is this important into the decision of, is it going to be worth summoning for GLOXINIA or not? Well, because we know that these units are also going to be coming very soon, I would say, generally speaking, especially Easton, is going to be much, much more desirable than either version of GLOXINIA. So if you're limited on gems, if you're a free-to-play player, and you really have to make choices, you're definitely not going to be able to summon on any banner, I would absolutely lean more towards Easton rather than GLOXINIA. And another big factor is also that Easton is an original character, so it's going to be a step-up banner, so you're not going to have to rely on RNG. If you have the required gems saved up, which should be 242, you'll be able to end up getting a copy of her guaranteed. So that's another huge factor, and if you guys are wondering about the timeline here, my best prediction is we have the Part 1 anniversary event still going, and they're going to be going for 2 weeks total. We are getting close to the end of week 1 right here, but we still have another full week to go. That includes the Awaken Lilia event as well. Now, we're going to be getting GLOXINIA, probably both GLOXINIAs as well, based on what they've done in the past. We're going to be getting Mono and Easton. The real question here is, what are we going to be getting first? Mono and Easton or GLOXINIA? And I think at this point, either or is still possible, but for me, it makes more sense for Netmarble to release GLOXINIA first, because, you know, Mono and Easton, especially Easton, really is going to be much, much more desirable. And with Lost Vein and his banner coming out recently as well, a lot of people just spent a ton of gems. I think a lot of people are burnt out on spending gems, so it would make more sense for them to release, you know, Lost Vein, super hype banner, most hype banner in the game, then something a bit slower, not as hyped, GLOXINIA, and then go back to something a bit more desirable and hyped, and that would be Mono and Easton. Really specifically Easton, though. Mono's just going to be thrown in there, but she's not really as desired as Easton. So that's my prediction there, is GLOXINIA and Mono and Easton, and factoring into that decision, if you guys are low on gems, free to play, you can only pick one, definitely my recommendation to go for Mono and Easton. Now, getting into the actual units themselves, you know, the skill kit is very important to take a look at here, because it definitely does line up with this PvP rule of fills the ultimate move gauge by 1 orb every time a debuff is applied during enemy turn. So we have green GLOXINIA here, and you know, if we have anything happen like what Netmarble has been doing, they've been pairing a lot of the units that have 2 versions of them, one of them added to a summoning pool, one of them the coin shop version, and they've kind of been releasing them both at the same time, both in the same banner. And if we actually take a look at the past banners, another really big sign that GLOXINIA is coming is the fact that he is the furthest unit back that we have still not yet gotten, except for Red Fat King. He's kind of the exception there, who also might be coming, but I don't think he's going to be coming in his own guaranteed banner. If he does come out, I think he's going to be paired with another unit. He's just not going to be desirable enough to get all on his own. And a little fun fact about my own account here, which some of you guys might find crazy, despite all the summons that I've done, all the amount that I played, my crazy, account missing 6 units, one of them is actually surprisingly Green Fat King, and he comes for the Part 1 summons. So all the summons that I've done, all the tickets that I've pulled, I have still not yet gotten a copy of him, and honestly, I am a-okay with it. So, yeah, that's that. GLOXINIA, Fat King, and if you take a look here, there is a really big jump, though, between Green GLOXINIA and Red GLOXINIA all the way down here. And another thing that I've kind of noticed Netmarble doing is when you have 2 different versions, they've kind of been, pairing them together and releasing them, somewhere in the middle-ish. So, it's not going to be super late, but here we are right now with, Lostvie Meliodas and Fraudrin, so it would really make sense for them to release it right here, given that Red GLOXINIA is not much further down the list, and Green GLOXINIA was a really, really long time ago. So, anyway, that's all the information added up. I'm pretty confident about this one. Let's get into the skill kit here because it lines up with the PvP rules very, very well. So, number 1 here, inflicts damage to 140% of attack on one enemy, makes the target bleed for 2 turns. That's a debuff, by the way, right there. So that's number 1. Second rank is same ability, except now it's 210% instead of 140. And then the rank 3 is 350% instead of 210%. So, ability that's got a debuff on all 3 ranks right there. Then you've got a second ability here. Inflicts damage equal to 120% of attack on all enemies. Rank 2 now is still 120%, but it's got that disables attack skill. So you've got the, Gother's second card right there. It's the same one. And then the rank 2 is 180% and disables attack skills for 2 turns. So that is another debuff right there. Then you've got his ultimate, inflicts ruin damage, 560%, scaled up to 840 with a 6 out of 6 ultimate. And passive increases the defense, or the hero's defense-related stats by 5% for each alive enemy, increases the hero's attack-related stats by 5% for each dead enemy, but very importantly, you have his commandment. Allies and enemies who use 2 or more skills in their single turn will have their attack-related stats reduced by 30%. So that, his commandment, is also a debuff. So you've got 2 skill cards that both have a debuff and a commandment that has a debuff, which of course is going to apply to both Green GLOXINIA and Red GLOXINIA. And if you guys are also wondering, the GLOXINIA that is going to be in the summoning pool afterwards is Green GLOXINIA, and it is Red GLOXINIA that is going to be in the coin shop. So, alright, and now let's get into Red GLOXINIA here. So, card number 1, inflicts damage equal to 120% of attack on all enemies. Number 2, inflicts damage equal to 120% of attack on all enemies and allows the use of only rank 1 skills. And this is a debuff. You can see right here that the description changed from an attack card on a rank 1 to a debuff card on rank 2. Rank 3 inflicts damage equal to 180% of attack on all enemies, allows the use of only rank 1 skills for 2 turns. And then you have his second ability here, removes debuffs from all allies, so technically not a debuff, but the card itself has to do with debuffs, so it still kind of matches that theme a little bit. Removes debuffs and heals HP of all allies by 240%, so now you've got the heal attached to it as well. And the rank 3 removes debuffs and heals HP of all allies equal to 300% of attack, grants debuff immunity for 2 turns as well. Ultimate is the same, 560, 840 ruin damage. And then you have his passive, Red GLOXINIA's passive. When this hero's skills are ranked up, fills the ultimate move gauge by an additional orb. And the commandment, which is shared by both GLOXINIAs, of course. So still with that theme of anybody who uses 2 or more skills in a single turn is going to have a debuff applied to them, reducing their attack-related stats by 30%. So, you have both versions of GLOXINIA here with lots of just everything related to debuffs. It's very, very likely that we are going to be seeing the GLOXINIA banner come out because of this week 2 weekly PvP rule. So if you were following along with their skills, though, you can also kind of see here in the unit rating, and with everything that I've really mentioned here, just to kind of wrap up the video with the final note of, is it really worth summoning on these units? Well, if I didn't give it away already with the hint of, I think it's likely they're going to release in the middle of 2 more hyped banners, Lost Vein Meliodas and Easton and Mono. He's kind of going to be in the middle there. Definitely not as desirable. He's not terrible or anything like that, and if you guys are a collector and you just like to have all the units just because, maybe you could do a couple summons, maybe you could do a little bit here just to see if the RNG gods have smiled upon you and you are the chosen one, but do not feel bad at all skipping out on this banner. I think for most people, free-to-play players, low spender, this is a skip, and it's a feel-good skip. You can definitely feel good about it, saving those gems for much better things in the future. And we know that Easton is coming. We also know Goddess Elizabeth is something you're going to want to save up for in the future in a couple of months, and you just are not going to have the opportunity to summon on every single banner that comes out, this being one of them. So anyway, I really just wanted to piece together all the information for you guys in this video, line it all up. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think about GLOXINIA, but also about the timeline of the game, with GLOXINIAs being released, with Easton and Mono, and what you guys think about all of that. So let me know what you're saving gems for as well. But that's going to be a bit about it for today, so thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to toss a quick like as well. It means more than you can imagine, so thank you so much to all of you who decide to do that. And more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen right about now, or in the suggested videos to your right or below. More guides, tutorials, and fun videos just like this all over the channel. Over 150 now so far. But if not, until next time, take care everyone, have a great day, and this Assault of the Salty Guild, signing out.